At the Egghead Island, 𝐒-𝐇𝐚 is shocked because of the betrayal. Seeing Kaku asleep on the floor, 𝐒-𝐇𝐚 exclaims that it is a bitter pill to swallow. 𝐒-𝐇𝐚, without wasting a second, launches an attack at Stussy, only to his dismay that it is actually a shadow clone of Stussy, who she has created using the paper arts, heartbreak after image technique. Stussy exclaims that when he is unable to understand anything, his first instinct is to attack and kill the person. Stussy then quickly takes out her lipstick tube and taps it into his neck. The lipstick tube basically contains a sea stone, and when it is pressed against 𝐒-𝐇𝐚's neck, it prevents him from transforming himself into a black panther. Stussy then bites him too, making him fall asleep. Stussy mentions that she knows how strong the boys are, and fighting with them in a fair manner would have been stupid. After Kaku, 𝐒-𝐇𝐚 too has fallen to the ground and is asleep, while Stussy stands near them. Brook watches the whole scenario from inside of Thousand Sunny. Brook is unable to understand why the CP0 agents are fighting among themselves. Zoro calls it a friendly fire. Stussy then talks to someone on a transmitter. She exclaims that she has put both of them to sleep. The person she is talking to is Vegapunk Shaka. That means she is the ally Dr. Vegapunk contacted previously for help. Edison calls it a fantastic news that Stussy managed to came through. Usopp, unable to understand, asks them what is going on. Jinbei exclaims that is 𝐒-𝐇𝐚 beaten? Shaka replies that 𝐒-𝐇𝐚 was taken by surprise as Stussy's loyalty to him was kept secret, even after she spent 20 years as one of their agents. Robin exclaims that it means they had a spy in the world government's intelligence branch. Shaka replies that it was not their intention to let her be a part of their team, but that is how things unfolded. Stussy then tells Vegapunk that her authority level is the same as 𝐒-𝐶's, so she does not have the power to override his orders and stop the Seraphim from attacking. Edison tells her that she has already done much and she should leave the rest on him and Lilith as they are on their way. Zoro and Brook run to stop the Seraphim from creating more destruction. Brook asks Zoro that does those Seraphim kids look familiar to him as well. Looking at the Seraphim, Zoro agrees to Brook and exclaims that specially one of them looks exactly familiar. The lab that has faced serious destruction is covered with rubbles all around. Lilith is going out of the lab and finds that the holes blown up by the Seraphim has made it faster and easier to exit the lab. She finally reaches outside, and just when she's about to give an order to Seraphim, 𝐒 Seraphim spots her and is about to attack her with his blade, but Zoro comes in between and dodges the attack by his blade. Zoro clashes his blades with 𝐒 and exclaims that on closer inspection, he does not seem the same. Zoro says that 𝐒 actually has a spark of humanity still in him. But when 𝐒 knocks him back, Zoro exclaims that he cannot understand what truly the guy is. Lilith is shocked at this, but Edison takes the lead. Edison is about to give them command, but before he could tell them to stop, Seraphim 𝐒 launches an attack at him from behind. 𝐒 shoots at Edison, and Edison at that moment orders them to stop immediately. But the already launched attack reaches near Edison and blasts. Seeing this, Lilith is shocked at what happened to Edison. But next moment, Sanji appears with Edison, showing that he is the one who saved Edison from the blast. Sanji tells Lilith that Edison is fine, and it was a close call. At last, the Seraphim finally listened and stopped attacking them. Zoro asks them what exactly these creatures are, while at that moment, Stussy tells Shaka over transmitter that she has bound 𝐒-𝐶 and Kaku with sea stone. Shaka thanks her and then asks her to come with them as they are leaving the island. Stussy acknowledges him. Usopp exclaims that they have a ship, not a cruise, and he keeps adding on people. Luffy, on the other hand, calls out loud that where are Bonnie and Dr. Vegapunk, as they cannot leave without them. At that moment, an announcement says that a truly unexpected development has taken place. The announcement tells that Dr. Vegapunk's main Stella body has vanished. The scene then shifts to Sphinx, New World, which is the Whitebeard's hometown. Some kids are telling Marco about an incident that took place when he was not around. The kids call it a very scary sight with Marines all over the place. Marco apologizes to them and tells them that he did not mean to leave them in such a bad spot. Marco is regretful for not being there for them. One of the kids tell him that it was not his fault, but those Marines that invaded the place were the worst, and they came here for looting the Whitebeard's treasure. In fact, those Marines were just like pirates. A flashback scene of the incident is shown where the Marines are asking everyone to act nice if they don't want to get hurt. The leader of the attack, Marine Captain Rattel, tells the citizens that the place's Sphinx is not affiliated to government. For that reason, the citizens of the place have no legal rights. They are sure that Whitebeard must have kept his treasure there and warns everyone that not talking about the exact location of the treasure would be considered as an act of defiance. They are pointing guns on kids to scare them and make them reveal the location of treasure. People there beg them to leave the kids and tell them that there is no hidden treasure. One old lady exclaims that the Marines don't consider them fellow humans just because they cannot pay the government, and calls them monsters. Rattel asks the woman that is it wise to act tough when Marco is not around to save them. Some Marines hold the old woman in air while everyone cries out to leave her. However, there is no affect on Marines, and Captain Rattel aims his gun at the woman. People cry out that she is an old lady, but Rattel does not stop. But before he could shoot the woman, a giant man appears and charges his Murakumogiri at the Marines, sweeping all the Marines away with just one attack. The man warns them to stay away from his dad, Whitebeard's home. In the chaos, the Marine officers try to escape. While one Marine officer tries to contact the Marine squad to tell them that the giant man, Edward Weevil, has attacked them. The Marines also realize that the warships meant to hunt down the warlords are now disbanded. They have lost contact with the other squad. In short, Weevil got them all. His strength makes him a bona fide master. The Marines then run towards the ship and wait for the backup. They call the Marine Department that they need immediate assistance at Sphinx because an ex-warlord, Weevil, just showed up. The scene then shifts to present day. The kids who told the whole incident to Marco exclaims that if the big guy had not shown up, the whole village would have destroyed that day. Marco calls Weevil a hero and feels glad that the citizens of the village are safe. At that moment, a woman tells Marco that it was not the end of it. The woman asks Marco that who does he think the Marines sent in after that call for backup? The woman exclaims that the Marines sent Admiral Ryokugu. Ryokugu did not make any disaster but took her sweet son Weevil with them. The woman requests Marco to bring his beloved son back, and while he would be doing this, he should fork over Newgate's inheritance too. The woman is actually a former member of the Rocks Pirates, a self-proclaimed scientist, Mad's resident freeloader, Miss Buckingham Stussy. She remembers the scene where Weevil was captured and taken along. She exclaims that his son is sent to prison for protecting his father's village. Is not this tragic? She then asks Marco that does not he think Weevil has a noble soul? Marco replies that he is highly thankful to him for protecting this place. Stussy yells out that she can judge by his tone that he still doubts Weevil to be Whitebeard's son. She then exclaims that she knows someone who can prove it, and that is Vegapunk. The scene shifts to a sea, near Egghead Island. An officer tells Admiral Kizaru that they have prepared tea and snacks for their guests. Kizaru asks them that if they did poison test, to which the officer says, "Of course, sir." Kizaru then tells them that he will bring the snacks himself, and they should get back to their post. Flags of Marines and world government can be seen. Kizaru then serves the snacks. While serving, he asks his guest that has he met Vegapunk before? The man exclaims that he only met him once and that too, a long time ago. The man is actually the highest authority in the world, one of the 5 elders, Saint J. Garcia Saturn. The man exclaims that what is happening now is truly a shame. It shows that one of the big wigs is finally making a move. I've noticed that many of you are simply watching my videos without subscribing. I kindly request you to consider subscribing to my channel, as your support motivates me to keep creating more content.